Coming up on Mountain News this morning, some people in Knox County were renovating their home when they noticed a man in a back room. We'll tell you what happened next. Plus, the animal shelter in Perry County is looking for donations to replace its animal transportation van. And the commercial vehicle weigh station near the Floyd and Johnson County line is getting a makeover. We'll tell you about the construction.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:31 on December 3rd. I'm Madison Pergram, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning. So if you're just getting up, it is a little chilly outside, so you want to grab that coat, but it's not the snowfall like you saw yesterday. Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, it is a little calmer.
Yeah,
makes your job a little bit easier?
A little bit easier, but we are still seeing a few snowflakes this morning, maybe even a snow shower in some locations. But again, a little bit calmer. It's trying to pull off to the east more, and we'll continue to watch that trend throughout the day. Let's take a look at our satellite radar loop the last few hours, and you see most of the blue fading out, but a little bit trying to fade back in there in parts of the Big Sandy. Visibility an issue up on top of Buffalo Mountain this morning. Some snow still on the ground up there. Higher elevations got all the snow yesterday. Winter wonderland up on top of Whitesburg Pine Mountain yesterday. We're seeing temperatures right around freezing there across the area this morning, or just above 40 for your daytime high. Flurries give way to cloudy skies. And as we look ahead, maybe some late day sunshine today, a slow clearing as we head into the overnight hours, and then sunshine returns as we head into midweek. I'll have more on that coming up here in just a little bit. Madison.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, some Knox County residents were renovating their home when they noticed a man in a back room. That man then used wood screws to seal himself inside that room. The homeowners called police, and as WYMT's Phil Pendleton tells us, a canine finally brought the man under control.
Knox County residents were renovating their home on Thanksgiving Day when they noticed an unwelcome guest in a back room.
They'd been in the house for over an hour. Didn't even realize he was there. Went to go in that door and it was shut. They couldn't get it open.
Emerson Johnson apparently was not there for dinner, but police say he refused to leave.
He'd actually screwed the door shut with wood screws.
Officer Eric Martin and his canine Chomby responded, and Johnson, still armed with that screwdriver, still refused to leave.
I'm not sure exactly what his intentions was, whether to hit me or the dog. He did try kicking me and the dog when we first went in.
Police say the homeowners don't know Emerson Johnson, and they also don't know why he chose their house to break in and then seal himself inside an inner room on Thanksgiving Day.
Gave several commands for him to come out.
Police say Johnson refused. When Johnson started kicking them, the dog was told to bite.
The dog bites were on both legs. In our training, he's trained to bite the arm and the leg.
Johnson finally surrendered and was charged with burglary, assault on an officer and a service animal, and resisting arrest. In Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
We went to the Knox County Jail to see if Johnson wanted to talk to us, but he declined. And a Pulaski County man is facing a long list of charges after a police chase. Somerset police say Jeffrey Grimm had a warrant for a parole violation and would not pull over when an officer tried to stop him. The chase hit speeds of nearly 90 miles an hour, and officers eventually found him in a parking lot. Grimm is charged with speeding, wanton endangerment of a police officer, and running from police. And during the holiday weekend, Leslie County Sheriff's deputies arrested 6 people in several meth-related cases. Deputies say one of the more notable ones involved 15 grams. The street value they estimate is about $1,500. In that case, investigators say they pulled over Dustin Bowling. Justin Sinners was a passenger. Deputies stopped Bowling because they say he was driving carelessly. In his car, they found what is believed to be meth, pills, and scales. Bowling faces drug possession and trafficking charges, and Sinners was arrested on a bench warrant. And a local animal shelter receives a grant to bring comfort to animals throughout the year. I have more about what the grant will provide. It is not an easy job working at the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter, especially with an unreliable heat pump.
Oh, it would work for like 2 or 3 weeks and then go down, and then we'd have to bring somebody in to fix it. Then it would work for a few weeks, go down.
Making daily tasks for workers like Allie Mullins even tougher.
If the heat goes down, then the water freezes up. You have to put extra blankets. It's just so much extra work. Their water buckets freeze.
And not only in the winter.
Sometimes the temperatures in the shelter would be up to 90 degrees. We had several fans. We would open all the windows trying to get the animals as much air as we could.
But a grant from Love 120 is changing that, providing them with a new heat pump.
That may not seem like a lot to a lot of other people. However, our old heat pump, we have been repairing it for about 5 or 6 years.
Tammy Noble saying all the work is paying off.
We were ecstatic over it. We knew that we feel like we do a good job of taking care of our animals and really trying hard.
All with the hopes of providing better care to our furry friends. In Perry County, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News. Now, the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter was one of 3 shelters in the state to receive the grant this year. And that same animal shelter in Perry County is looking to replace its animal transportation van. The shelter is now looking for donations, and a local couple announced they will match donations up to $3,000. Tammy Noble, the chairman of the shelter board, says the current condition of the van is affecting their daily operations.
With the van, ours was not dependable anymore. We have to transport to vets. A couple of the last times we've transported to vets, our vans broke down beside of the road.
To donate, you can visit the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter's Facebook page, and donations for a new shelter van will be matched until December 26th. And the commercial vehicle weigh station near the Floyd and Johnson County line is getting a makeover. The stop has been closed for the past year, and now a construction company is working to build a new facility. Jamie Collins with Commercial Vehicle Enforcement says this station is the only one along US 23 in Kentucky.
The whole front of it will be glassed where we can see the trucks enter the facility and exit, as opposed to what we have right now. Once we're inside, we can't technically even see them.
So far this year, we have seen 724 fatal crashes on Kentucky highways, and that is an increase from 658 in 2018. The new weighing facility is expected to be finished in May of 2020. And a North Carolina community is struggling to get back to normal months after being hit by Hurricane Dorian. Arauco Island reopened to visitors just yesterday, but officials say cleanup and recovery efforts aren't done. The island was closed to non-residents since Dorian caused chaos back in September. After the storm, people reported dealing with the worst flooding they have ever seen on the island. In the aftermath, some homes were reportedly destroyed and some landmarks had to be torn down. And check this out, a scene straight out of Christmas itself. You can see Christmas lights and snow glistening above Gatlinburg on the Sky Bridge. Gatlinburg Skylift Park took this video yesterday morning. Workers at the park are calling it Snow Bridge. The bridge was open Monday morning, and visitors were allowed to walk across to take in the snowy scenery. Park officials say the bridge closes if ice makes it too slippery, but it's still safe to enjoy in snowy conditions.
Beautiful scene there. I just don't know if I could walk across that bridge basically with no support underneath it. I'm sure it's very supported, but still just the way it looks. Live pinpoint Doppler radar this morning. Some snow still around parts of the eastern half of the state into West Virginia and Virginia as well. So we just can't shake it this morning. Temperatures there right at freezing or just below, right above freezing there. Hazard, Ashland as well. Morehead's actually dropped a couple degrees. Prestonsburg and Irvin as well. Wind still continuing out of the northwest, so that's bringing some of that moisture in. It's also creating some wind chills. Feels like the 20s in Wise, Monticello, and up toward Ashland as well. Your out-the-door forecast features flurries this morning, hopefully clearing to cloudy skies by this afternoon, right around 40 for a daytime high. Madison.
We'll have stories trending on WYMT.com next, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. Also on the way, one Spanish hotel spared no expense for their holiday decorations. We'll tell you how much they are worth. And speaking of decorations, a chandelier placed in a very odd location draws both love and hate.